Okay. Okay, we're holding 180, the bottom, next to the bottom paragraph. We're speaking about reflecting on the wisdom, seeing the handprint of Hashem in creation, and from there we draw and understand that there's a creator, and what is the dimension of this creator, and what did Hashem provide for us. And based on understanding what he provided for us, that it binds us and obligates us to serve him to a greater degree. And he says, based on one's depth and grasp of understanding, that will determine the intensity of his avodah. To what degree you're going to be serving to Hashem. The many signs of wisdom in creation which we're able to draw this, make this evaluation. Nomer ki pinas hachochem ki yomos babruim l'rov minayim v'yishayim sheva. He says the foundations of wisdom established in creation in all its different species and individuals are 7. We'll see. Achs mehena. Simin ha-chochma hanire b'shorshei olam b'yisodosov is one of the signs of the wisdom of Hashem, which is obvious, and it's a fundamental to the world, and he says it's the root elements. Berosam, berosenu amidas ha'oretz be'emtza. Now, v'amayim smuchan lo l'mala mimenu, v'avi somach lohem, v'eish l'mala mihem, al mishkol v'shir, lo yishtan mimenu dover. Okay, he expected the 4 elements. We're speaking about earth, water, air, and fire. Air is not one of the elements. It's just taken as the reality. You have the earth, the water, and then you have air, which is above it, and fire, which is above them all. He says, Ala mishkul v'shir, lo yishtan min adover. Kol echad m'shoket al makom misyachid vo v'amug vo. He says, never change, it's keeping its specific, special and appointed place. Okay, see, I had difficulty with it. He says, water is above the earth. What it means above the earth? I mean, factually, the ocean, right? The ocean is not above the earth. If the ocean would be above the land, it would just come in and just flood everything. Right? It's below. What? No, he's not talking about clouds. He's talking about the oceans. The oceans. It's the core of the earth. But if you have a mountain protruding, right? So even though the mountain, there is a base to the mountain may be under the water, but so the same thing with the earth. Of course, the bedrock of the ocean is land. Yeah, but that, what are you amazed? Why you should be amazed? If it somehow the ocean doesn't inundate the land, okay, it's above it and somehow it doesn't inundate it. But it's the land protrudes above it, right? You say, Roka Oretz Al HaMoyim. Hashem suspends the land on the water. So the way I always understand that, because the force which the ocean comes in, it should go beyond. What does the ocean break at the seashore? Right? That's Roka Oretz Al HaMoyim. That itself is a miracle. It comes in with such ferocity and such force, and somehow it just breaks at the seashore. That's a miracle. It's amazing. Because chas v'sholem, if there's a force that doesn't withhold it, you have a tidal wave. There's an earthquake in the ocean. What happens? It just keeps going, and everything's inundated.
So how does one explain the tsunami?
Because Hashem's not withholding the water. He lets the water just flood everything, destroy everything. So you have to be appreciative. That could happen continuously. They were speaking about the shifting of the continental shelf, and eventually who knows what it's going to be. The world, at one time there was more land, there was less land, and the world was flooded, and eventually at one time everything was connected, all the continents, and what they say, in history, what happened. The ice age, and this age or that age. Okay? understand? Kol echad shoket al makomo, hamisyachi bo v'amugbo bo. V'ayom omed, the ocean remains in its location. V'mayim asurim b'socho, and the waters contained is restricted to the ocean. Doesn't go leave the ocean. Stays within certain confines. Doesn't go beyond those confines. Lo yavra al gvulo. So okay, that's good. Lo yavra al gvulo. Doesn't go beyond its boundary. I understand, but he was saying the water is above the earth. It's not above. No, that's something else. V'myemu galov, he says, now he speaks. He says, V'myemu gal v'yistaru ruchosov. He says, if the waves are yemu, are like thundering, a roaring, and the winds are gale force winds. Moshe Kosov, the Eshber Olav Chuki, V'osim Briach Ud Losayim, V'omer At Potova V'lotosiv, Posginiyov. He says, even if he said, you put a door which is secured with a bolt, V'omer At Potova V'lotosiv. Up to this point, it comes, it doesn't go beyond that point. Upo Yoshius Begon Galecho. Here your proud waves will stop. V'oma b'amidas ha'shamayim v'oretz l'olam Hashem dvorcho nitzav b'shamayim dol dor emunoscho kunanto eretz datamo. You've set earth in its location, secured it, and it stands. L'mishpatecha omdu hayom ki akol avadecho. For judgment they stand today. They are all your servants. Moshe zocha davar olav hasholom me'in azeh b'miz borchin nafshis Hashem. He speaks of borchin nafshi. You have man has to function during the daytime. You have certain types of animals, which are predator animals. They go back to their lairs at night. During the daytime, night they're out foraging the forest. You can't travel. You'll be exposed. What happens the moment you have sunbreak? You have dawn. Right away they start retreating back to their lairs and to their dens, and they disappear. Otherwise, man can't function. You can't go out there. It's too dangerous. So that itself is a miracle. So many things, elements of nature, function as they do. Why? And that's to provide mankind with an existence. Otherwise, we can't go forward. We can't thrive, and we can't be productive. You know, if you believe man came from the animal, then it means nothing. No question.
So when we have a tsunami or a flood, is it a warning? Is it a punishment?
You have an earthquake. What was an earthquake? Right? Hashem is talking. The Gemara says in Brachos, why is there thunder? Okay? So it says to take out Akmumi Shebelev. People have certain crookedness in their hearts. They think whatever may be. So the moment you're surprised and you're stunned by a clap of thunder, it puts fear into your heart. So what does that say? Who are you? You know, if that itself is enough to terrify you because you weren't prepared for it, that's Lahose Akmumi Shebelev. It removes the crookedness in one's heart. You know, just now they had, all the tornadoes in the Midwest. And literally, those winds come through, unless, even if you have a secure building, it means nothing. Destroys it at a level is not to be believed. So what level of, what force of nature is that? Is that compared to the ocean? Is it compared to anything? You know, it's a moment. A moment comes right through. Anything that's the path is destroyed. Trees uprooted, buildings uprooted, everything uprooted. Destroyed. Devastated. What is this? It's Hashem. It's meaningless. You know? So, it's supposed to be a wake-up call. If you reflect on it and understand it, it's for a reason.
And supposedly it's at random in a given town.
The Gemara says Hashem brings this kind of devastation elsewhere for the Jew to wake up that it shouldn't come to him. It's them, it's not us. You know, it's interesting. We find Kanesha Yorkino. We read in Hazinu, Kanesha Yorkino. What's Kanesha Yorkino? When an eagle comes into its nest where its children are nesting, it doesn't want to startle its children. You know, an eagle comes in with its wings. It comes suddenly, would terrify its young. It comes in, it flaps its wings to give them a sign that it's coming. He shouldn't come upon its young immediately. So Hashem with us, it's Kanesha Yorkino. He doesn't want to startle us. So there's a tsunami in wherever it is. There's an earthquake wherever it is. Nepal, there's a this, wherever it is. That's for us. He doesn't want to startle us. Then all of a sudden we get it over the head. You know, this is what we call the wake-up call from a distance. Okay? Let's see Kedushin.
But it's interesting